So last week episode, we talked about purification and the benefits of purification to the mind, body, and soul. And I briefly mentioned meditation and the importance of purification and meditation together. To my mind, they are married. So if you didn't check out that podcast yet, please go back and listen to that episode before you continue with this one. It's essential. I was introduced to meditation somewhere around, I had an awareness of it, but I was really introduced to it in 2013. I think I went to a yoga retreat, and that was my first introduction to yoga. And then I also learned about meditation and the benefits of meditation. So I had an idea about it and that it was good and that it was something I should include in my... I didn't really have a practice at the time. So, just in my spiritual growth, into me growing as an individual, growing spiritually. I don't recall that I really took up the practice of meditation. I maybe tried it a couple of times. I didn't know what I was doing. When I read the Master Key, I kind of had a better idea of how to approach meditation, and how simple it is. It doesn't have to be, all these bells and whistles about it. It's really simple. But through trial and error, I kind of figure out what works for me. What is meditation, though? To me, meditation is a mental practice that involves either quieting the mind or a focusing of the mind. And there are many benefits to your mental health. Meditation gives you mental clarity, concentration, which is focus, relieves stress, controlled thoughts, spiritual awakening, self-talk, positive self-talk, that is, communication with spirit or your higher source, your ancestors. Meditation is also good for downloads, which is one of my favorite benefits of meditation. Meditation can change your brain chemistry by helping to release neurotransmitters and certain feel-good hormones. And we really need to talk a little bit more about hormones, but maybe we'll do that next season. But these hormones are really good for the nervous system and can assist with feelings of bliss. It's one of the reasons why healing from chronic illnesses is possible for a lot of people who practice meditation. So this evening, I'm going to share 4 ways that I think meditation is possible. The first way is you can meditate through a prayer. And I know the Christians are going to side-eye me about this, but to me, prayer is a meditation. And it's interesting because the times when I was going to church, I really didn't understand prayer. Prayer was so strange to me. And even when I attempted to pray, it was very awkward for me. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. And I think nobody teaches you exactly how to pray and what exactly this process should entail, what it should feel like, and how you should feel after, and just nothing. I didn't get any guidance on this prayer thing. When we were children, we used to do nighttime prayers before we go to bed. Gentle Jesus, meek and mild. I think that was it. But when we became adults, I just didn't really get prayer. And even when I was going to church, I really just didn't feel the prayers that were being said. They didn't feel authentic to me. And so I didn't connect. And so I just never really prayed. In my private moments of prayer, I really found myself just doing a lot of begging. There was hardly any gratitude and hardly any intention set. Just a lot of crying and begging. And I guess that's what African people will do because most of us are suffering in some way or another. What else we have? We don't have anything else but prayer. That's what we think. I'm not gonna make any big suggestions because I'm not a Christian, and so how they do their Christian thing is how they do it. But I think there must be some better approach to praying. The second way that you can meditate, which I know more about, is you can pray through plant medicine. And I mentioned before, and I think it was in the episode on shadow work, I spoke about plant medicine. And these are medicines that open you up, opens your third eye. These are entheogens then. So they have a psychoactive effect on your body, on your mind. And so you may have what people might call hallucinations. But I think that what you get is a lot of in-depth look into your subconscious, into your mind, into your spirit. And so you can really do some serious meditations during plant medicine. And I've done that with mushrooms, and I've done that with weed as well. Matter of fact, I do meditations with weed all the time. Every time I use weed now, it's a meditation. So it really is supposed to be used ceremonially. It is supposed to be used for meditation and as a sacrament. But we've turned it into a drug. But there are still people who use it for spiritual practice, and I'm definitely one of them. I don't use it for just, having fun, or just like how people use alcohol. I don't use weed in that way. For a long time, I've stopped using weed that way. Now I go through this whole process, as I mentioned before, of cleansing, purifying. I set intentions, and then I go into steaming. I steam weed only, and then I do a meditation. I ask for inspiration. I'm gonna go through kind of how I do it with the Shinto meditations. But yeah, I set an intention, ask for inspiration, and then I meditate on it, and usually I get lots of downloads where I get answers about whatever it is that I asked, or whatever intentions I set. I just get a lot of information, and those information are helpful to me in making decisions the next day, or considering other things, or making steps towards things that I probably wouldn't have done before, or I make a phone call that I was probably hesitant to do before, or it just gives me motivation to move towards the things that I want to do. The third way that I would suggest meditation is through your breath, through breathing. And meditation is that simple. Just breathe in and breathe out. And breathing exercises, I think, are some of the best ways if you want to clear your mind, because it's an exercise that forces you to focus on your breath. You don't have a moment to think about anything else when you're focused on breathing. There's an exercise where you inhale, hold it, exhale, hold it, and then you continue that cycle for a few minutes. That is a really good meditation. I've done that many times. And it's really good for clearing the mind because, as I said, you're focused on the breathing. There are lots of breathing exercises in yoga as well, including the fire breaths, I think it's called, where you do this really aggressive type of in and out breathing with your chest, and it's like so you do those for like about 30 seconds, and then you release and hold and relax, and then you do some more of those. In those moments, trust me, you're not thinking about anything except how good you feel because your body and your brain is getting all of that oxygen. I think those breathing exercises are some of the best ways to meditate. The fourth way that I recommend, and one of my favorite ways, and what I've learned to perfect through reading up on Shinto meditations. And Shinto is a spiritual practice. It's people call it a religion. It's a Japanese religion, but I think it's just a way of life that honors nature. Of course, there are lots of indigenous cultures that are similar to these, and if you go through each culture, you will find that they have their own ways of approaching these types of things. So this is just the Japanese Shinto approach to meditation. So the focus is on nature and mainly the four elements, earth, wind, fire, water, and also the seasons, the four seasons. Shinto teaches 7 stages of meditation. The first stage is observation. So you observe your environment, you observe yourself, you observe your mind, you observe whatever it is that is going on with you, what you're feeling, maybe what you want to explore, maybe what you want to understand. Just observe, make some observations. The second stage of meditation in Shinto is invocation, and that is like inviting spirit. So when I do my meditations, generally I invite ancestors to join me. I invite my higher self to be present as well. So you can talk to your spirit guides as well, to come and commune with you and share information with you and help you through whatever it is that you want to process through this meditation. The third stage is inspiration, and this is essentially where you set your intention. You speak about what it is that you want to do for this meditation, what you want to achieve from this meditation. That is it. What do you want? What do you want to know? What do you want to explore within yourself, within your subconscious mind? What kind of guidance may you want from spirit, from ancestors, from your higher self? You know, this is where you set intention for the meditation. You should always set intentions for meditations. Don't go into meditation for no reason. What is the purpose of the meditation? And of course, we spoke about the fourth stage, which is purification. You know, you really want to do a clearing before you start a meditation. So you can clear with words, you can clear with water, you can clear with saging. So you can do some saging before you start the meditation. That's generally what I do before I go into meditation. And when I say saging, I don't mean just white sage. I mean any incense that you can use to do a clearance, then you use it before you start. But the Shinto meditation, the guided Shinto meditation takes you through, and I think I read it in the last episode. So you want to go into meditation with a clear heart and a clear mind, and so you want to clear all of the blockages, clear all the negative energies, and start with a clean plate. You want to release all of it before you go into a meditation so that you feel light. Your heart is light. There's no heaviness, and that is what purification helps to do in the process of meditation. The fifth stage is meditation now. So you go into focus, or you're going to clear in your mind, or whatever intention that you set for the meditation. This is a moment that you take to really sit with yourself. I suggest that you focus your mind on your intention. Meditate on everything that is related to it. Give it whatever time that you feel comfortable. There's no particular time that you need to do a meditation. Generally, when I do plant medicine meditation, I don't set the time. The plant sets the time. So I could be in a meditation for hours with herb. It really all depends. It depends on my chemistry, my body chemistry for the day. Whatever is happening with me mentally, spiritually that might affect how the weed affects me for the day. I don't decide on how long meditation takes. Sometimes meditation can go into the next day as well. So it depends. You never know what a meditation is going to feel like, how long it's going to take either. The sixth stage of Shinto meditation is relation. This is when you get all of your downloads now and you start to process, essentially. You start to process, and I think this is a really good time to journal as well and just see all that is coming up, all that is coming up, all that is coming through you, and write it down. You don't even have to write it down if you don't want to. You can just process it. Just take time to process all of what happened in the meditation. What came up, what kind of guidance you got, how you feel, whatever it is, just process it. The final stage, the seventh stage of meditation, is celebration. And so essentially it's just giving thanks. You know, you celebrate whatever it is that you got out of the meditation. You give thanks for the inspiration, you give thanks for the motivation, you give thanks for anything that you feel. Generally, you feel really good after a meditation. You feel extremely inspired. Maybe you feel relaxed. Maybe you feel like a load was lifted. We should always try to have a spirit of gratitude in whatever it is that we do. So even before you start meditation, a good intention to set is gratitude. So after the meditation, it's also good to do gratitude. People tend to forget. They get the inspiration, and then after, they forget to really give thanks or, have a heart of gratitude for what they were able to receive in the process of meditation. I think that this guide is a beautiful guide. I can't tell you everything that's in the book, but how it takes you through the process of meditating to honor nature is really, really, really beautiful. And it makes my experience when I'm in nature, when I go to nature and meditate in nature, it makes it so much better. Worse if I'm using plant medicine in nature. It's just a beautiful experience. That's essentially, meditation. As I said before, it's really about simplicity. It doesn't have to be complicated. But, I guess the Shinto meditations take it a little bit further than simple. But as with anything else, you can tailor it for yourself, how you like it. You don't have to do all of the steps. Just use what feels good for you. What feels comfortable for you, you work with it. Some people like guided meditations, and I think for the busy minds that we tend to have, I think guided meditations are good for you. But the simple ones for clearing the mind is also good. So any type of meditation is just good for the mind. And so I encourage you to find books, look up online, listen to podcasts about meditation, and see how it can assist you on your journey. So that's it for this week's episode of the Sacred Living podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with me. As usual, please remember to check out tropicanaturals.com, our sponsor. If you are on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you actually listen and watch but aren't subscribed. Make sure you give the podcast a rating and a review if you like. I would appreciate that as well. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch up in the next episode. Later.